Thank you for subscribing. I surpassed 100 subscribers thanks to you. And so I'm gonna do the giveaway. This is what I'm giving away. It's a little illustration of my main character, Topo, the mole. And Topo is really into stargazing. A little bit about this drawing. It is 4 by 6 inches. And it is on some nice Bristol paper. I drew it with Copics and Prismacolor markers, a nice ink pen, colored pencil, and some acrylic paint. Whoever enters the giveaway, which will be via a Google form, I'm gonna ask some basic information, just like an email I can contact you at, and if I draw your name out of the hat, then I will go ahead and contact you so I can get it mailed to your mailing address. So here I am starting off with a basic sketch. Forgive my setup. I feel like for some portion of this time lapse I blocked the drawing with my hand, but you know what? You live and you learn. I guess you can still see the process somewhat. But anyway, I am drawing just a sketch of Topo. I decide, I don't really like the placement here of his nose and his eyes. So I'll keep the head shape and redraw this part. At this point, I don't actually know what I'm gonna have Topo doing in the drawing, but then I'm like, okay, it's an adventure game, maybe he's exploring. Oh, okay, how about some binoculars so he can take a look at whatever he's trying to look at on this journey of his. I'm a big fan of inking. Actually, a lot of the time, I don't even use pencil. I just go straight in with ink. If there's a mistake, there's a mistake. I don't usually care. But just for the purposes of this giveaway drawing, I thought, okay, better go off a sketch first and then ink on top of it. But I love inking. I love this pen. Let's see. It is called Fudenosuke Tombow brush pen. Water-based pigment ink with a hard tip. Really love this brush pen. Feels great. on going in with some marker. This is a Copic marker. I have a big box of Copics as well as Prismacolors. I've had them for like probably over a decade, and they are still going strong. Only a few of them have dried out just from use. They haven't really dried out just from sitting in my bag. So I highly recommend these excellent markers. They are pricey, but I've gotten a lot of use out of them. At this moment, I realize that I forgot an essential part of Topo's character design. It's his satchel. I decided, initially that little strap you see on his shoulder, that was gonna be for the binoculars. But then I was like, oh God, I forgot the satchel, I have to draw that. So I just turned that strap into the satchel strap rather than the binocular strap. have some insecurity about my marker skills, so I usually go in and shade things a little bit better with colored pencil on top of marker. I think it looks a little bit better this way. So I feel like I'm in a good spot with the coloring, so I decided to go in and darken those initial lines again, because when I erased my pencil sketch, it did remove some of the ink from the paper. And so I'm just darkening and thickening the lines so he stands out among the color. I also tried a little, I don't know if it's a new technique for me, but this is kind of a small drawing, and I wanted to add some highlights on his eyes and a couple of other places, also add some stars. So I had a little pokey sculpting tool that I just dipped in some acrylic paint and started poking around the paper. This wasn't a great technique because it definitely has it's easier with like a thin brush maybe, but I didn't feel like digging up my thin brush. I don't know where it is actually. So I said, okay, let me just poke around. Could have done better, but it is what it is. I think it looks fine in the end. Had a little whoopsie here. I didn't like how big that I glopped that paint on, so I said, okay, I'll just make this like a meteor or something. And I'm happy with it. So there you have the 100 subscriber giveaway drawing. Go ahead and fill out that Google form, and hopefully in the next week or so I will draw a name and mail this to you if you win it. Thank you. Bye.